Okay, I believe we had audio. We have audio now. All right. Perfect. Let's get a few things figured out. Today is something different, guys. It truly is. Hold on. I need to figure a couple things out. I really wasn't ready to start streaming yet. I wanted to... Oh, there it is. Nextrad's right there. But I want all the web pages out of that, preferably. Because those are other things. They're not important. That's all my farm sim stuff. Oops, didn't mean to go into that. So, today, I was trying to wait till there's at least a couple of people watching. Not to offend the one person who's watching right now, but I'd hate to have to explain this 20 times over. Okay. Got people watching. So this is something different. We're going to talk about tornadoes. I mean, that was the name of the stream, but... So as of today, well, I don't get the certificate until tomorrow, but it's today. I am certified as a National Weather Service Severe Storm Spotter. So that's nice and all. I went through the class. It was a 2-hour class I took this morning and passed it just fine. This year is supposed to be... Okay, so we were talking to... Sam, oh, his last name started with an L. And then there was another person. Man, I have zero memory here. I gotta apologize for that. I just don't remember things. But National Weather Service thing this morning, I asked them about the outlook for the year just because I was curious. I mean, last year I tried to chase, and, Mother Nature was like, yeah, you're not gonna get any storms. And we got one storm. It was pitch black, it was dark, it was late at night, wasn't chaseable. Consequently, I was also hiding in the basement. But that's not important. This year we're in the middle of a moderate to strong, or coming out of a moderate to strong La Nina pattern in the Pacific. So it's looking like it's going to be an active season, kind of shifted to the east. Instead of Tornado Alley, like we'll be getting here in Indiana, the Tornado Alley weather, the long track tornadoes, the supercells, strong storms, tornado outbreaks. I'm not saying this to alarm anyone. I'm saying it because hopefully we can chase some this year. Before I go too far, I should make it clear that I wish no harm to people or damage to property, but it is kind of inevitable. And as a spotter, it's my job to try to report those kind of things when they happen. Chasing, well, we got a little research project we're trying to get worked on here. And that research project is kind of a continuation of what Tim Samaras was doing. And if you guys don't know, rest in peace, Tim. Tim Samaras was one of the most amazing storm chasing guys ever. He was a scientist and genius, absolute genius. The way he built probes, like straight out of Twister, to put in the path of a tornado and measure the wind fields. Well, that was part of the goal with this season, was to measure the wind fields in and around a tornado, and actually measure the wind fields right before tornado formation. In a tornadic circulation, I want to see if the wind fields right before it indicate anything. Because if those wind fields don't happen in a storm that doesn't produce a tornado, and something is very noticeable in a storm that does produce a tornado, that is significant. That is coming a step closer to being able to predict tornado genesis, which is the formation of a tornado. So if we could find something in the wind fields of a tornado right before one occurred, that would raise an immediate red flag that one was about to occur, that is significant, and that is definitely, for sure, important and could save lives. So that's part of the wind field research project there. So yeah, there's that one. And then other things are just, well, the wind field research project is kind of inherently, by nature, very dangerous because it involves being under a wall cloud, under a mesocyclone, right near a tornadic circulation without knowing where it's going to touch down. So this is not, we're going to experiment with it this year. I'm getting some wind instruments, by the way. We're going to get a tripod for the camera, for time lapses and stuff. I already got the laptops. I'm 50-50 on having a chase crew together this year and 50-50 on being able to actually do anything right now. But I don't want to pass up this opportunity of a once-in-a-lifetime-ish tornado season. It's going to be unique this year. Indiana sees supercells, but not often, and I think this year our potential for supercells are through the roof, but not through March. Right now, dew point is the measure of humidity in the atmosphere. Humidity creates storms. We're just going to cut to the chase. Humidity creates storms and allows them to become very strong. So right now, our humidity, your dew points should be in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s. 70s is real strong storms. And we're in the low 20s, which is expected when it's only 30 degrees outside, 50 degrees outside, whatever. There's no moisture in the air right now. And I had some water vapor imagery to show you guys the amount of moisture in the air, but I currently cannot pull that up. So, yeah, if you want to look up the water vapor imagery, there's that. As far as today, what I've looked at is we do have some deep level shear. Now, wind shear is the changing in direction or speed of wind with height. It sounds confusing, but basically it's what allows storms to rotate, and deep level shear, which is close to the ground, can allow a tornado to form. In addition with the rear flank downdraft, which also is part of the shearing factor. This stuff gets very complicated very quickly, but the gist of it all is March is not going to be an active month. March is going to be the month where I can make videos on preparing stuff and packing junk food for trips and talking about the way we're going to go. And that's part of this stream. We're going to talk about the way I want to chase this year because I have a plan in mind. We're not going out to the Great Plains. We just can't, we have to be able to return here every single day. We can't take a week-long road trip out to Kansas. It's just not feasible right now, so yeah, we are unable to do that at the moment, but what we are looking at is chasing, well, you know what? This is a good time to hold on. Why is the College of DuPage radar up there? That is not what I wanted. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Nope. Quit. Out of the way. Out. Quit. No. I still want it. No. Okay, hold on one second, guys. I'm having some issues here. There. I didn't want the browser source. I want the... What's what? Is that game capture? It's window capture. Okay, we're good. Anyhow, this is Google Earth. We're going to use this to talk about it. I'm pretty sure I have a DEM in here. There we go. I can make that disappear. I made that disappear. I'm not giving you guys my exact location. We're just saying central Indiana right around here. Either way, my ideal chasing area this year is going to be... I would love to chase in northern Indiana, where the Hoosier Valley Chasers guys are, but that's not feasible for us right now. So I think our area of operations is... Can I draw a circle? Please let me select a circle. I don't know how to use this. This is Google Earth Pro, and I don't know how to... If any of you guys know how to use this, would you mind giving me a hand? Oh, another thing I did not mention today is that if any of y'all have questions, feel free to ask them. I love explaining stuff about this. I like weather probably way too much. So I will definitely explain. Gosh darn it. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, no. Okay, made a mess. I will definitely explain that kind of stuff. Okay, you guys just kind of watch my mouse. Our chasing operations area is right in here. No farther than, I don't want to get too far into Illinois. And then right through here, southern Indiana, from Seymour on to Indy. The thing with Ohio is we can extend right through here to Cincinnati, probably no farther if we need to. But I'm hoping to intercept the storms. Because generally when I get to Ohio, it's nighttime, and we don't chase during night. That's dangerous. That's a very good way to cut your lifespan short rather quickly. But this this is our area right in here. This is a sweet spot between Interstate 69 and Interstate 70. Let's see, out of Bloomington, Lytton, Robertson, all this area is going to be the hotbed this spring from what long range models are predicting, and I mean really long range. So all of this can change, but my plans don't change quite as easily as the models seem to do. Anyhow, we do have one big problem though, coming, let's say, out of Columbus and stuff, going through the highways, and people are, I already said I was streaming, but people still walk in on me all the time. Coming through here, the best way to get through all these forest and parks and stuff to open chase area is to go through them. Now the problem is, so if you go through these areas in a tornado, you're right here. That's going to take you a couple of minutes to get through there, and your options are basically drive fast and hope you don't get ran over by a tornado. There are no escape routes here. It's not safe at all to be chasing storms through these areas, like down by Nashville. This is Indiana, by the way. This is not Nashville, Tennessee, but we do have some rather large hills here. So this is not a safe chase area. I would never, this is a nightmare to be caught in, and I would not want to be caught in that area. So either we're going to have to go around that area, or our options are to get up early, pack early, and get through here. It's like an hour and a half drive out to open area here, like on the Indiana border and stuff. But I would say for the most part, okay, so from where I'm at to Washington's about an hour and a half. So I'd say for the most part, we just leave and try to get through these areas at like 10 or 11 o'clock where we're not facing severe thunderstorms. We might get rained on, but that's fine. As long as we're not like in the middle of a tornado situation or a hailstorm trying to get through these roads, it's okay. But I don't want to be caught here in the late afternoon. So the thing is, when we're chasing out, if we're chasing over here now and we try to head back east during a severe weather event, I do not want to go through these areas again. So our options are basically go north toward Martinsville and come back down, which makes this very complicated. Indiana is a tough and dangerous proving ground if you do it wrong. My plan is to do it right, but then again, my plan was to chase last year too, and weather didn't wanna. But I've been monitoring satellite data from these areas for probably the last month to month and a half. So like I've been watching way too much satellite data, trying to plan escape routes from literally anywhere we can be. And having more than one way of escape I've just studied the roads around here, is what I was doing. I'm just trying to see, how are the roads laid out here? Are they in a grid? Are like 90% of them in a grid? Because if so, we have a four-way escape from any dangerous situation. And the thing is, say we have a supercell thunderstorm that's about the size of, say it's the I-40 logo. Say it's a 40 logo. And darn it. Okay, say it's 70 logo, and we're right here because that's the best place to look at the thunderstorm. Now, generally things track this way. Supercells, their mesocyclone causes them to go this way. So we need to be able to get down south. We need to be able to get away from it. We need to be able to get in front of it. we don't need to go into it. That's not a good idea. But in a situation where we're looking at a tornadic circulation, it's good to have multiple escape routes. That way no one gets hurt. And to whoever the one person is still watching this, you are awesome. I'm trying to keep this as least boring as possible while still give an overview of what's going to go on this year. So, yeah, and if anyone has any questions, drop me in the comment section. Like I said, I try to answer what I can. If not, Havoc was in here earlier. I don't know. He might be in here later. He can probably answer what I can't, because I think he's going to try to chase. I don't know. I shouldn't speak for him, but we're just looking at this general area for our chase season this year. Now, if you'll excuse me, we are going to switch back out. Hold on. To the image slideshow while I talk a little bit more. Now, okay, so this year is is going to be an inactive March. It's going to give me time to get some t-shirts and hats from Skywarn, because I'm proud that I'm now a part of that. It's going to give me time to get the anemometers, the stands, some weather instruments, a rain gauge. It's going to give us time to plan escape routes, get the National Weather Service numbers in different areas of the state and Illinois for reporting stuff. It's going to give me time to review all of our models, make sure all our radar's working, figure out how to get internet in vehicles, best chase plans. I'm kind of glad we have March off. We have a low moisture, high pressure environment right now, and it looks like we're going to have some rain, potentially some flooding next week, which I don't care. It's fine. If it's not severe weather, I'm not going to go chase flooding. There's no point in that. I mean, if it's around me, I'll report it, because that's kind of my job, but I'm not gonna go chase it or anything. You don't really chase floods. It doesn't work like that. I mean, I don't know, I guess you could, but that's probably more dangerous in some aspects than chasing a tornado, because floods don't move. Well, they do, but tornadoes move, so your chance of actually getting near one is kind of really low, which is why I said I promised nothing this spring. I still have to convince my mother to let me chase this year, so that's another thing too. We're getting close there. It's fine. But, yeah, there's still plenty of stuff that we have got to get figured out for this chase season, and why is everything lagging out? I'm looking at the base velocity map right now for no reason, and it was like, okay, whatever. I need to go back to the stream screen so I can look at what we're doing. Anyhow, so like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask those. Well, a good thing to do is, what about just talk about what I was talking to Havoc about earlier, which was, nothing to chase this spring. But once we get into April, the 2011 tornado season was a very, very big and active season. We had an outbreak or a super outbreak. In 2006, we had a super outbreak. So we're sharing a lot of characteristics with the 2011 year, and a few with 2006, and even some with 1974 coming out of the moderate La Nina. And if you guys don't know what happened in 1974, it was the biggest recorded tornado outbreak in U.S. I am almost positive it was the biggest recorded tornado outbreak in U.S. history. If not, it was ridiculous. ETA for Havoc to watch the stream in 5 or 10 minutes. Well, Havoc, I can stall and talk for 5 or 10 minutes just fine. So you're good, and we're hope to have your knowledge on here, because I forgot the other half of what I was gonna say. Well, we'll figure it out. I mean, I only had something planned to talk about for the next hour, and I forgot 45 minutes of it. 42 minutes of it. 40 minutes and 30 seconds now. Bingo. Anyhow, that's not what's important. So, we're going to have an interesting year this year. I think I'm excited because the weather from the Great Plains is going to move into the eastern states, which is something that here in Indiana we don't get very often. And like I said, it's kind of a nightmare in some places trying to chase through Indiana. And Havoc, whenever you get back here in 5 or 10 minutes, whatever, I'm gonna show you one of my problems and see what you think of it, because I'm still trying to find a better way around it than what I've got right now. That problem was the one I just showed off a couple of minutes ago, which was getting from western Indiana or central Indiana to eastern Indiana and from eastern Indiana to eastern Illinois and western Indiana. I have to get across a bunch of state parks and hills, trees, low visibility areas that you do not want to be caught in a storm. That is super dangerous. So, I should also probably mention at this point in the stream that chasing is inherently dangerous, and you should not do it if you have little to no meteorological knowledge or storm structure. I wouldn't even. I just wouldn't do it. Don't follow my example. It is inherently dangerous, but believe me, the amount of preparation that you don't see. Also, don't trust Twister. For the record, I think everybody's out there watching Twister right now, but don't. I still like the movie. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on Twister, but it's from a standpoint of a modern storm chaser, almost nothing is correct. Well, there's a couple of things, but a lot of it isn't correct. So, yeah, we're I'm not going to speak for everyone. We have idiots, too. There's plenty of idiots that chase and do a horrible job and get themselves hurt or other people's hurt. But there's also people like Tim Samaras, Reed Timmer. They're the geniuses of storm chasing. I do not claim to be on their level of storm chase. This is my first chase season. My very first chase season. Last year was supposed to be my very first chase season, but gosh darn it, weather wouldn't. I looked up at the ceiling. There's no weather in here. Weather was not going to cooperate. We had one storm last year. One single storm. So, one single big storm. So, wasn't really the year for us here in Indiana. And the big thing is I can't drive, so we really, it's limited by what the chase crew's parents can do, which is a massive fail factor for the season. And that's no one's fault. But we can't drive. Another thing that I have to personally watch this year is I got to keep vehicles out of hail cores because they're not my vehicles. And I don't think anyone's going to appreciate getting their windshield busted. And do I think this is hard to do while chasing? Kind of. Do I think I'd give up a tornado to not have a broken windshield? Yes, I'd give up a tornado to not break a windshield. Because, well, we need hail shields, hail nets, whatever. But broke is the answer to that one. We're broke. So, operating on little to no money, the plan for chase season is to play it safe, see what we can. If there's a tornado outbreak, get on the road. Get some images, take some data, test the feasibility of the wind field experiment thingy, and probably eat horrible, trashy food because that's how storm chasing works, for the record. You can eat healthy, but it's very difficult to eat healthy while you're running across state lines at the speed limit with cameras and just constantly moving and not being in one spot for very long. Because weather moves fast. Sometimes faster than the speed limit will allow you to go, but there's also roads without speed limits, for the record. Well, dirt lanes. There's no speed limit on a dirt lane, is there? There better not be. Anyhow, whenever Havoc gets back, we'll talk more about the my dilemma here with chasing in this area of Indiana and not dying, because it's really bad to get caught in areas like Brown County in a tornado or any severe weather event. You just don't want to do it. So the plan for most normal chase days, and like I said, this stuff never falls through. Plans change immediately based on predictions for the day and weather. So I am going to go ahead and actually I can't mute this, can I? Give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab some papers. We're going to talk about the general setup for a chase day. My plan that isn't going to happen very often, but if it does, it'll be a perfect chase day. Okay, everybody, so what we've got going on here now, let's see, I have the checklist. That's not important. That includes a lot of things. Let me just give you an idea of what we carry, and if Havoc has anything to add to this or whatever. Anyone who's chased has anything to add to this, let me know. But right now we've got a handheld anemometer, the pole-mounted anemometer. Havoc's back? Good. We're going through the list of things to pack when you're chasing, and then I'm going to go over the timeline and my plan for chasing, and then I want to talk to you about my great dilemma of getting caught in a tornado in Brown County with a bunch of trees and hills and I can't see. But first, through the chasing list. Handheld anemometer, mounted anemometer, probably unhealthy food and unhealthy snacks. Water's important. Medical supplies, just in case, like scrapes and cuts. Like, we can't carry a full ambulance, but first aid kit. GPS device for not getting lost. Phones for recording. iPad, laptops, that stuff for all kinds of radar. A couple of monitors. Chargers to keep everything running. Road maps to keep us running from or toward the storm. Hard hats for hail. Rain slickers for rain. Cameras, video cameras. Ham radio for communication, NOAA weather radios for monitoring things like watches, warnings, etc. I put Skywarn apparel on here, but that was just because I want to buy some. We don't have a spotter number. Binoculars, flashlight, batteries because battery-powered things are important. Headset so that I can talk without holding my phone up to me. I forgot it this weekend, which stinks. Ruler or tape measure for hail. Rain gauge, something that measures dew point, which is actually my handheld thermometer because I have a nice one. Compass, atlas, road map. I'm pretty sure I already have that one on here. Yes, I do. It's fine. We can have it twice. So that's my list of things to pack. I know there's things missing from it. Probably the things I wouldn't even think about, like lunch. Like actual lunch, not just random stuff. What vehicle are you planning on using? Well, we haven't quite figured that out. Either my mom... I don't even want to say it. She's probably not going to like this, but either my mom's truck or my chasing partner's dad's truck, because we can't drive. So we don't have permission for any of those things yet. Keep that as a mental note in the back of your mind. The chase season could be very much in jeopardy if that doesn't work. It might end up being a spotting season. But I should hope we'll be able to actually get on the road. Speaking of which, getting on the road, let's pull up maps here so you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about when I say this. This is the general plan for a chase day that I guarantee you is not ever going to actually look exactly like this, but this is the idea. Okay, just avoid using a Cobalt. What's a Cobalt? I'm sure it's probably like a tiny car that'll get stuck on a dirt road. Yeah, we got trucks. Four-wheel drive. Anyhow, my plan is to start the day at 7 a.m. Yes, even if storms don't fire till 6 or 7 p.m., you have to start early. Because I want to check the SPC outlooks. At 7:05, I'd like to check all the other weather models and random stuff. At 7:20, when we be done with that, we can check lift index, stuff like that. A little after that, we'll check deep shear, and then jet stream, and then see if there's any anticipated spotter activation. And then we will pack at like 7. The exact car Tim used when he died is a Chase. Oh, yeah. Chevy Cobalt. Chevy, right? Yeah, that thing. Yeah, it will get... No, I am not using that. Thank goodness we have vehicles that won't get stuck. To be fair, they were on a dirt road in El Reno, but... Yeah, it's a chaser coffin, you're right. Anyhow, by 7:30, I want to get ready to pack everything up in the vehicles. By 8:15, I'd like to have all of our radios set up. Those include weather radios and like AM or ham radios, stuff like that. At 9:10, I'd like to get the chase crew together, go over the entire plan. 9:15, we're going to talk about escape routes, which that's just a real quick overview. Most of those things are done on the spot. About 9:30, we'd like to look at the general setup of everything. Give me a moment. The internet just went oof. Oh, yeah. It might be on my end, too. I don't know. Internet's not been great today. By 9:30... Oh, I already said that. But by 9:30, we'd like to look at the general setup. You're good? Good. We'd like to look at the general setup of everything. By 9:40 a.m., we want to figure out what we're going to do for the day. Like, fully establish it. 9:55, we're going to look again at weather models. 10:15, we're going to figure out where we're going to drive to first, which is probably some random diner on the side of a road in Illinois. 10:25, we're going to have our route finalized. By 11 o'clock, I'd like to be eating lunch, unless we're already chasing a storm, which I hope we're not chasing at 11 a.m. That wouldn't give me time to do anything. We wouldn't even be through I'll talk about that one in a minute, but we wouldn't be through the danger area. By noon, I'd like to prep or start chasing. I'd like to wrap up by 9:15 p.m. at the latest, because I don't want to be chasing after dark. That's just dangerous. Eat at 9:45, debrief it a little after. We're getting into hours that my mother won't like because of lateness. We're just going to say this weekend, because we have to unpack everything too, figure everything out, and then just let the adrenaline run down for a little bit after a good chase. So that's the plan for a chase day that's probably never going to happen. Now, Havoc, I didn't want you to see this because you're saying Indiana's a chaser nightmare. So we're just going to go from here. No exact locations, but we're going from here, and I want to get out to my chase area, which my hotspot this year is north of 164 and south of 70. So right in here. This is where I want to be. Where's Effingham? Yeah. Out to Effingham is probably the farthest I want to go at any point. And west of 69 probably. Anyhow, to get there, our options are take the extremely long route. It's going to take us like 2 hours to get down here to Washington, Indiana, in which case we can run out directly west. Or the smart but also stupid thing to do, which is go straight through 46 into this absolute mess. This nightmare. If you were to get caught here in a severe storm or a tornado, your chances of making it back out are kind of low. Like, this is a good way to destend. Riding Acres, is this real? Absolutely. You can bet it's real. 2021 storm season is very much real, and I can only hope that it works. Havoc plays only... Oh, okay, avoid using that route at all costs. It looks like a jungle. Yes. I've been through there. It's real nice scenery, but in a storm, it's going to be bad. Hey, Farmer Jacob, good to see you. My plan, though, Havoc, was to get moving early in the morning, take this jungle-like route, and be out the other end before storms fire along the dry line. So that way we're not in here during bad weather. I mean, on the way back, we're probably going to have to take highways north toward Indy, over to Franklin, back down, wherever. Oh my gosh. It scares me going through here in a thunderstorm. Just a mess. And escape routes out here, I've been looking at satellite data till my eyes burn out. Farmer Jacob, how old are you? Let's just go between 10 and 15. I'm not 10, though. Did I already mention this somewhere? Yeah, the other issue is I can't drive yet. I think I've already mentioned that. So I'm relying on other people for transport, which is another issue, meaning I can't steer anyone into a hail core on accident, because that would not blow over well. And as far as I know, that would probably murder the chasing season. It would be over if I accidentally destroyed someone's windshield. So we've got to watch things very carefully this year just to be able to chase all the way through the year. But since weather conditions are so active this year, and we're looking at potential tornado outbreaks this spring here in eastern Tornado Alley, Hoosier Alley, Kentucky, Ohio, Illinois, Missouri, yes, still places like Kansas, Oklahoma, etc. There's so much stuff to do, and then it's just a mess. Okay, if storms fire in your area, if storms fire in this area, you're going to need a route that goes north and east. Yes, so, actually, let's talk about that, because, believe me, I've done my planning here. So, the idea was to get down here, just like stop for lunch somewhere around the Indiana line. And if storms were firing along the I-57 corridor, then we'd probably want to set up like halfway between Effingham and the Indiana state line, like around Olney. And then as far as our route, it would probably be from Olney over to Lawrence and straight up, which takes time, but if the storms are firing here, we'd basically intercept them around Robinson, and we'd be able to go directly north and try to cut ahead of them over the Indiana state line. Like I said, this all changes because, I don't know, the storms could fire up down here, they could fire in Indiana, they could fire down in the Mississippi Valley. It all depends on what's going on for the day. But I pretty much have routes planned that run almost every direction, even if they are just kind of rural roads. So the good thing about Eastern Illinois is if you want to take enough turns, you can go any direction. There's enough roads. I don't know how good the roads are. Haven't been out to Eastern Illinois for longer than I can remember, which makes it tough to chase here this year. But as far as the area around me, I know this box. This box is my stomping grounds, so yeah, right through there. I don't know a whole lot about out here either. So it's going to be rough to have escape routes every time we go, but I refuse to go if we do not have escape routes for fear of dying. So, like I said, no one's watching? Did the stream crash? One moment. I'm going to check and make sure the stream didn't crash because no one's watching. If no one's watching because they don't want to or they're disinterested, that's fine. I just need to make sure it didn't crash. Oh, beautiful. It didn't crash. Perfect. That's what I wanted to see. Well, I guess it means no one's interested, but that's fine too. For anyone who made it to this point in the video, I am going to continue talking. I suggest avoiding anything close to the Great Lakes. It's an urban nightmare. Yeah, I'm not going to chase in northern Indiana. At least I don't think so. The plans this year have been to chase in southern and western Indiana and southeastern Illinois. So it's going to be an interesting chase here. Okay, so talking about both that we're going to talk about next as soon as people get back because I want this to be stated live. We're going to talk about the research project thingy. Kind of. Is this real? Yes, it's very... Oh, wait, I already answered that question. Yep, it's real. All real. I don't make things up. Except for hope that we're going to intercept tornado. I might be making that up to make myself happy. We're going to try. Darn it, I forgot what I was going to say. We'll talk about the research project some, and, yeah... I think we're kind of coming to a close here. Very much because, yeah. The type of tornado you're going to see are fast-moving stovepipe and rope tornadoes. Okay, so that's a very good thing to talk about. Yes, but also no. Yes, typically on an Indiana year, but I'm not saying you're wrong. We're still probably going to see a lot of those, but you got to remember, like, 2012, the Henryville tornado was still pretty quick moving, but it was wedge. It was an F4 wedge tornado at points. And then there was a time where its fastest speed was like 35 mile an hour. So if we get a setup similar to those years, we might actually see some of these supercells that have wedge tornadoes, large diameter, slow moving things, photogenic. I do not doubt we're also going to get the LP supercells or just regular MCS complexes coming through that are going to bring rope tornadoes that are hard to see or rain wrapped or just going to hit you blind out of nowhere and you're not even going to be able to see them. So, but this year I was optimistic because I think it's going to look different. Oh, hey, you know what I didn't do? There we go. Switch that back. I think it's going to look different this year, which is why I'm so excited about the season. Oh, this is the big important thing. Where I am drawing the line with recording and tornado footage stuff. We're not going to be recording... Okay. Very, very, very minimal on the damage. Because I want you guys to understand it, but it doesn't feel right to publicize off of that. As far as the actual tornado itself, I draw the limit at live streaming. Henryville type tornadoes are the ones to stay away from. That tornado outpaced a lot of chasers. Yes, it did. I remember, this is a story that I don't have time to tell. I also don't remember the details, so it'd be wrong for me to tell it and tell it wrong. But there were it was really nice about that point where there were 5 or 6 people on it, and it was moving really slow, and it was kind of a stovepipe, and it was photogenic, and it was beautiful, and it was in the woods, not hurting anyone. And then all of a sudden, that storm picked up motion, and we got an F4 tornado that moved fast, and we were moving through wooded areas like the Nightmare area I was talking about. They were running through southern Indiana, hills you couldn't see. It was moving 60 mile an hour at some times. No one knew it was coming. People kept losing sight of it, and it just ghosted through until it hit Henryville, and then everyone knew because it hit a major town and caused a lot of damage and killed some people. So, yeah, Henryville is a type of tornado that you want to definitely stay away from. Unless it's on the open plains, in which case you just have to play it incredibly safe, incredibly carefully, and do your darn best not to get run over by it. Stay out of the way. Tornado, you want to keep a safe distance from them, which is part of what worries me with the research project. Meaning the research project studying the wind fields directly before the formation of a vortex, which is we're trying to see if something changes in the wind field that indicates tornado. That is a step toward predicting tornado genesis or understanding it, so that would be significant. The only issue is, unless we can develop a probe that'll work, it would require us being in an extremely dangerous situation, an extremely stupid situation that no one would ever want to be in, because you would be under the mesocyclone of a supercell, under the wall cloud, moments before a tornado could touch down on you, and you wouldn't know where. And you have to stay there and record wind measurements. So a probe is the best way to go with that. It is insanely dangerous to do anything else, and absolutely, it's insane, so we're not doing it. But I want to find a way to carry out surface-based wind field research on a tornado without getting killed, was the idea. So, like Tim Smayer's probes. You need to watch the Weather Channel episode on the tornado. I'm pretty sure Henryville is in southern Indiana. Also, take notes about Washington, Illinois. That was a surprise. I need to go back and watch Washington, Illinois. And yes, Henryville was in southern Indiana in 2012. I've watched that episode a couple of times. I'm actually going to quickly screenshot this because I need to remember to watch the Washington, Illinois tornado. Yeah, and the big thing is I'm hoping we don't have HP supercells this year. I wouldn't mind an LP for photogenic, and I wouldn't mind a classic supercell. But high precipitation supercells, they're not fun to chase. Generally, they are extremely windy, and they're pouring down rain. We've got rain ramp tornadoes. You're going to get hit. You don't know where. The hail is huge. Generally, they move quicker because of I've noticed that they move quicker because of the outflow boundaries accelerate away from it incredibly fast, which also kind of kills it pretty quickly. But if they're cyclic, then they're among high precipitation cyclic supercells are among the most dangerous type of supercell. Now, that is probably a controversial statement because they are kind of short-lived, if we're being totally honest here. The outflow boundaries will cut off the flow of warm air and kill it. So a classic is longer lived. But at least in a classic supercell, you can most of the time see a tornado because of the rain-free base. Those are the downright best type to chase. I would say for visibility that an LP or a low precipitation supercell is the best to chase. The only thing is, those are less efficient at producing tornadoes and you have a lower chance of seeing one. But if you do, it's generally photogenic. It's generally not insanely strong, and they're cool to see. So classic supercells and high precipitation is what we're looking at this year. I think if we have an outbreak, it will be of classic supercells. This is all my predictions. I guess I don't really have much of a thing to base this on. This is just my gut feeling. Because if we have an outbreak of high precipitation supercells at night, first of all, there's no chasing that. There's no studying it. You're basically running on Doppler indicated threats. And you might as well put a giant tornado warning over the entire area. Yeah, tornadoes in my state are short-lived and form in high and HP storms. They tend to reach only EF 1 or 2 maximum when doing damage. Well, at least they're not big rain-wrapped tornadoes. Henryville wasn't rain-wrapped for a while, and then when it got to its most dangerous state, the tornado was mature, it was rain-wrapped, and it was in terrain and roads that couldn't be followed or escaped. So at that point, that is a chaser's worst nightmare. We don't like rain-wrapped tornadoes. No one likes rain-wrapped tornadoes. You can't see them. You can't get away from them. You have no idea where the circulation is. So, I don't want to overstress people about the 2021 season being insane, but just know there is a heightened risk for severe weather this year, to put it kind of lightly. For chasers and spotters, this is an opportunity to get field experience. This is an opportunity to get footage and to study these things. For everyday people, it's an opportunity to practice and remember what you do in a severe storm, but this can also end badly. Yeah, there are at least 2 cells that hit. Yep, there were 2 supercells that went through Henryville. The first one was the one that destroyed town, and the second one, I don't want to say missed, but it basically went through the same area twice, so it didn't do any real extra damage besides scatter already destroyed things. It did that pretty well, but had it gone like slightly left or slightly right of the path of the other one, then it would have definitely destroyed a lot more. So, and I believe all of this information is correct. I believe. I wouldn't say it if I didn't think it. Feel free to fact check me if I got anything wrong. Just let me know, because I don't want to lie to you guys accidentally. I would never lie to you guys intentionally. So, if I mess something up, just let me know. As far as you're going to go watch the Henryville and Washington and see if you miss anything, well, have fun with that. We're going to wrap up this stream anyhow. It's just dragging on, repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So, y'all have a good one. I was going to say something. I already forget what it is. But, hopefully you guys have had a good day. And we're going to probably close this out with some Google Earth imagery. I was hoping I could put like a chase area on here, like I could outline it, but I can't because I don't know how to use Google Earth Pro. But yeah, so you guys stay tuned for the chase season. I refuse to live stream any storm chases because that's too dangerous to try to worry about a live stream at the same time. I'll do my best to record, but I'm going to have to make sure everything is completely, like, fully copyrighted. And yeah, don't want stolen tornado footage. That stuff is hard to get, and you're literally risking life and limb for it, so copyright protection is kind of important in that case. Anyhow, we'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Don't get too stressed out about this. But if you're chasing this year, I wish you the best of luck. And let me know what you guys get if you're not in an area. Actually, just let me know what you guys get. And if you're active on ham radio, I'm not, but my chase partner probably will be. So we'll see y'all. I just gotta let this run down or it's gonna cut off part of it.